Hello everyone, it's time for another training video. This video is going to be on starter care. Starter care is hugely important. It makes a very big difference. If the starter is not cared for properly, this is what results. This is bread that was improperly done. All this bread was supposed to be ready for today. It's all has to be thrown out. So not only are we short at least 2 pans of bread for today, but we're wasting expensive ingredients like cheese. This bread did not proof up right, and if you look at it, which there's not much you can see from there, it's totally gummy. So let's see if you can see that. See, that's just totally gummy. And if somebody spent $8 on this loaf of bread, they would obviously be really upset. And here is an example of Asiago cheese, expensive ingredients that are now wasted because this bread was not made properly. The problems with this bread can all be traced back to the starter. So we are going to do a little walkthrough and show you what the problems are, and then we'll show you how to fix it and not have this problem. First off, this bread was not ready to be baked. We have a proofing template that needs to be used to make sure that bread is ready to be baked. If bread is not ready to be baked because it's not proofed enough and you bake it anyway, this is what you're going to get. You're going to get small, inferior, heavy, dense loaves that a customer would write a nasty Yelp about. The template goes on the bread like this. So as you can see, this one is not ready to be baked because you don't have side to side or top to bottom. You need one or the other in order to bake it. So this should never have even been baked because it did not rise enough to be baked. So this dough, if it hadn't been baked off, could have been saved, but because it was baked off, now all this bread has to get thrown away, which is a huge waste and costs the company money and is going to cause us to be short on bread today. So we're going to run out of bread early and have customers that are upset with us because we don't have any bread. So before the bread goes in the oven, it needs to be checked that it's proofed enough. This is absolutely critical. Another thing that's critical is proper starter care. Going over to our starter worksheet, when you have problems with the bread like that, it can usually be traced back to a problem with the starter. It is critical that the starter be doubled. Every single one needs to be doubled. And here it's been written, yes, that it was doubled. But if you can do arithmetic, you can see that this one right here was at 10 and it was only built up to 14. So that is not doubled. And then if you go back to this one right here, you will see similar problems where this one, for example, was at 14 and it wasn't even checked. It wasn't built up at all, but somebody said yes, it had been doubled, and it obviously wasn't. Here's the problem with another starter the day before, where it was at 14 is the low, and then the finish was at 14, so that was not doubled because that would need to be 28, but somebody said yes, it was doubled when it wasn't. Here is another problem with another starter. It was not touched. It started at 13, it was at 13, and the finish was 13, so this was not doubled, but somebody said yes. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days out of 6, one of the starters was not built up enough. So the starter not being built up enough makes it so that the dough doesn't rise. When the dough doesn't rise, you wind up with that problem, and then you have to throw it out. So the starter gets worked down, work them all down evenly, and when you get them down between 2 and 4 quarts, you need to have them down to 2 or 4 quarts. If you're up here, then make some more dough. Make some pizza crust, make some cinnamon rolls, make something to get it down less than 4 quarts. So when all these are down less than 4 quarts, you can use this table right here to build it up. So this says build from 2 to 4 quarts. So if you want to build it up to 12 quarts, you add 24 cups of water, which is 6 quarts, and 8 pounds of flour, and mix it up. It doesn't have to be mixed up perfectly. There will still be some lumps in it, but you want to get it mixed up. So this one right here was only worked down to 6, but somebody only built it up to 10. 6 doubled is not 10. So this is going to cause problems as well, but we're going to fix this. So starter care is really hugely important. You want to work the starters down equally. Use one tub, then the next, and then the next. Build it so that they work down evenly so they can all be built back up. and then use this table. Starter must be doubled when you build it up. Everything you need to know is right here. So if you take care of the starter, the dough will turn out, the bread will turn out, we'll have happy customers, and everything will be great. So if you have any questions, talk to your supervisor. Have a good day.